the electronics has the other. And they do anything from burning on serial numbers to any kind of inlay. They burn it on the headstock first before they put put in the mother of pearl or the abalone or anything like that. Any kind of special like the double S inlay that we do with 12 fret, it's done on the laser.
Oh, okay.
The face dots and side dots, that's all done in the next. But any other kind of inlay gets done here. And then this is where we do all the electronics, like we do the pedals, we do the plates for the amps, all that kind of stuff. And so they do all the laser burning on that. Behind you is the Plek machine. We have 2 of them.
Okay.
And it's a bummer that they're not running because it's really cool to watch them work. You can kind of see. And basically what that does is after the frets have been installed, it goes through and it put under tension as if it was strung up. Basically just levels them. So that way it gives you the closest, most accurate fret job that you can get.
I see.
And then after that, it comes to these 2 guys who clean up all the other stuff and make sure that all the bevels are right and everything's nice and smooth. There's no hard edges. Polish them up, make them look as, basically so you can see yourself in the reflection of them. And then it goes on to the next station.
So actually, about how many months for you to finish the build the guitar?
It totally depends.
Depends.
And that's like we were saying earlier. Every section has a quality control stop where someone inspects it and says, okay, this is good, this is good, this is good, let it go, or hey, what's this, or looks like maybe there's.
So that's why sometimes late, right?
Sometimes they go through very quickly if there's no issues. They go through much faster. Sometimes it seems like certain guitars just have issues and it seems like there's always something and it has to go back.
Okay.
And either made right or they recut it. If it's something that they feel that can't be corrected, we don't have B-stock. We don't cover stuff up with lots of paint to try to push it out as something else. We just chop it up.
I see.
And and that's one of the issues, like with Coco Bolo. We were not only is it on the endangered list and we can't get it, we were losing more than we were selling. Like it would take 3 necks to make 1 guitar neck.
I see.
Because there would always be an issue.
I see.
So we wouldn't want to send it out. So if it didn't get after acclimation, after it makes it to the stages, if it didn't meet our standards, we would just get rid of it.
I see.
So unfortunately we
So makanya bro, sabar nunggunya bro.
So this is
Yeah.
140. You can't see everybody where. Yeah, that's a good one right there. Oh yeah, it's a select one. So this one had a 12th fret inlay.
So this is actually like my modern antique.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, exactly. The main
But this is the custom order
the
because
main
there is
difference is
inlay, right?
Exactly. So you got the inlay.
This is with the roasted, right?
Yeah, exactly. And they get wired, which you can't see, but this is where they wire everything together. Other than seeing soldering irons and solder. And then once it goes through all that, it's completely built. Then it gets the final QC and setup. The nut gets slotted here. Basically all the finishing touches. That's where it gets the setup. It gets the relief, all that stuff. And then he also, the guys at the end of each line, they also inspect it and make sure that it's up to, that they don't find anything weird. Even this, as silly as a pickguard scratch.
I see.
It goes back. Okay, hey, something happened. You guys got to fix it. And then once that's all said and done, then it goes to these fine people over here who do the final quality control.
I see.
So they go over the spec sheets. They make sure that the intonation's correct. That the whatever if the customer wanted the tremolo blocked, that's where it makes sure he goes off the checklist and says, okay, it has the custom inlay it is supposed to get. It has the setup they requested. It has the right string gauge, frets, all that stuff. It's the final QC.
So for if the guitar got a problem, so he's the one to be blamed, right?
Well, he's the one that makes these guys angry and says, hey, you guys got to fix it, which does happen, and then they take it back to wherever stage it needs to be to make it right. And the same thing with electronics. And I'll walk through the electronics quickly. Unfortunately, there's no one over there, so it's not nearly as exciting either.
It's okay.
the same basic setup. It's, you know, starts from the back and then works its way forward
Okay.
to the final QC. So everywhere from, you can see all this is done in house. So we buy these sheets and then they make them. They get burned on the laser. All the wiring gets done. So for pickups on this side, they switch things around from the last time I was here. Pickups on this side, you can see this is one of the presses where they press the magnets into the bobbins. For the single coils, we make all the bobbins as well. So we buy the material and we cut them on the laser, and then they get pressed and put into the bobbins. Yeah, exactly. Those are the magnets for the humbuckers. We buy the bobbins and base plates, but then we assemble them all here. All the wire, everything gets done over here. You can see over here, these are our pickup winders.
Oh.
This is what's really cool to watch because it's crazy how fast they go. And yeah, they have a program for each pickup. They get wound. Here's one finished one that's at least partially finished. Looks like. And then it goes through and they do all the wiring, the potting. They do everything over here. Here's a tray of them. Look like they. Yeah, these were just freshly potted, and now after they get potted, they get wiped down and cleaned up and ready for
This
for the
is
rest.
the new model Thorn.
Yep. So yeah, exactly. So those are all ready to go. Yep. So after they do that, they get bagged, and then down the line for boxing and all that good stuff. You can see bundles of them over there
I see.
in all different stages. After that, they go to, this is the amp side. Normally the hand wireds are done on this side and all the PCB stuff is on this side, and we hand populate those as well. So it's not, we don't send them out, they're not made somewhere else.
Okay, so everything is made by hand here.
It's all hand populated here, even though it's on a circuit board. It's still hand populated here, and you can see, chassis to different levels of production.
I see.
So it looks like they're getting ready to do the last of the limited run Jim Kelly's. Yep. You can see, without getting too close, you can see all the hand wired and all the work done over there as well. Those are all done by hand. Alright, this is the electronic side still for pedals and guitar accessories. So all the pedals, all the reactive loads, all those things are built in this section. There's some Eclipse boxes getting ready to go. Yeah. So we're definitely excited about getting all those ready. Finally, we're waiting on the last bit of goodies for these guys to finish up, so we can get these out as well. I know you have one.
Yeah.
Wait, one of these is yours. So as soon as so you're ready for testing. So hopefully everything is together and we're not waiting on any other pieces. This is the final test station. So everything from amps to pedals gets hooked up to the machine, and all the pots are tested. They sweep everything to make sure that there's nothing that was out of spec that's doing anything weird, that all the signal flows the way it's supposed to, that occasionally you get that one weird pot that at a certain point cuts out or does something weird, and they put it all on the scope to measure all that.
Oh, I see.
So so once everything checks out there, same with the amplifiers, we burn every amplifier in to make sure that there's no tube issues, that there's no nothing that fails after there's electricity running through it. And then after that, they do a mallet test, make sure there's no, and listen to it, make sure there's no odd, weird noises seeping in somewhere that needs to be addressed. This side is where they assemble all the cabs, put speakers in and wire them up, do all that, and also box them up as well. Same with head shells. All the head shells come through here and get, so once they leave this side, they go over to this side and get final assembly as well. Here's some of the new Badgers.
Yeah.
We're getting ready to go,
Yeah.
which is awesome. So after all said, and the same thing with guitars, they all come over here, and even though that they've been run through the machine and scoped, they still get play tested.
I see.
Because even though everything may look perfect here, if it sounds weird or something isn't quite right, or if there's any issue at all, it gets caught here again and sent back to wherever it needs to go to make it right. Obviously, with electronics, it's a lot easier to fix those things because it's usually swapping out a pot
Yeah.
or trimming up a wire, whatever may need to be done.
Yeah.
It's usually a lot easier to fix and come back for, again, another final inspection. That's basically it.
Oh.
Yeah. Back plates.
Oh, back plates.
Not too exciting.
You need the backplace if you meet an artist,
Yeah, I know. And and we have two different test stations here that as we get busier and busier, we've had to add more and more people testing all the time. And right now we have.
So this is a temporary case.
Yeah, so these are transfer cases.
Okay.
Instead of shipping around something nice and messing up a nice case, all those get added at the very end.
Okay.
These are just basically nice on the inside, ugly on the outside, so they can knock them around, bumping them into things, and you're not messing up an expensive case
Yeah.
while doing so. These are all out here for inspection, probably for to get a final call on something from Mike, our master builder. Did you meet him at the show?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So this is his desk, and this is where he does all his things, runs all his stuff, and a lot of times gets the final call on certain things. Yeah. And then that's basically it.
Okay.
Yeah, not nearly as exciting without all the people actually doing all the stuff, but still fun nonetheless.
Thank you.
A bunch of bodies just hanging out, waiting to go somewhere. Probably, my guess is we're probably sending them out to get the lacquer sprayed, and then they come back in antique. So, with all of our lacquer stuff, we do all the work, prep them, send them to one of our ex-employees to shoot the lacquer out of state because we can't shoot lacquer in California.
Oh.
Yeah, so we send them out, they send them back, and then we do all the aging and then assembly and then.
So that's why the antique is more expensive because of that?
Exactly. We have to ship them up
I see.
to out of state to our guy to spray them.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So must ship out. So in California, no one can paint the lacquer?
There's few people like Fender because they've been doing it for so long. They're kind of grandfathered in, and they pay a lot of money to have their facility to paint lacquer there. Other than them, I don't think there's anybody doing in any large production that's allowed.
Okay.
There may be a few others that are grandfathered in, but
Okay.
we're not able to do so.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, it's crazy, but luckily, one of our painters that was with us forever, semi-retired up there, and that's all he does is he just sprays our bodies for that and then sends them back. So it worked out pretty nice,
I see. Okay, Niche.
Yeah.
Thank you for the factory tour.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks. Bye.
Thank you.